Easier if we talk about how many calories are in a number 10 can of food, or we have discussed some of the numbers before in shocking quantity requirement discovery video. Can't spit that one out. And I have just posted a comment which I'm going to take a quick look at here on another screen, and maybe it will help with the calculations if we think of it in terms of, well, we talked about most grains are going to be about 400 calories in a cup. That's a very rough estimate. Some of them are probably going to be a little different, but on the average, you're going to find about 400 calories in a cup of flour or other grains. And oils and fats, about 1,600 calories in a cup, which is 8 fluid ounces. So if you're looking at a bottle of 48 ounces of oil, there's going to be 8 times 8 is 64. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 48. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. What am I missing? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. 6 cups. I don't know why I couldn't do that. My mind was all jammed. I'm sorry. So it's going to be about 6 cups of oil in a 48-ounce container of oil. At 1,600 calories a cup. I should have done the math on that. Sugar is roughly going to be about 800 calories in a cup. So a number 10 can holds approximately 40 cups. So a number 10 can of flour is going to have approximately 6,400 calories in it. Now, if you're looking at about 2,000 or a little more calories a day, most of us have a few extra calories hanging around that we can expend if we need it. I know I do. If you're looking at about 2,000 or a little more than that calories a day, so maybe we can draw some from our fat stores. That will technically cover about 3 days of calorie needs, fuel needs to run your body from a can of flour. So if you start looking at your, let me give you one more statistic here. I'm all tongue-tied this morning. The other one was a gallon of oil is going to have 16 cups of oil, because those number 10 cans don't hold quite a gallon. People call them a gallon, but they hold about 14 cups from what I understand. I should have done that myself and measured it out, but I don't have one handy to do that with. So a gallon of oil is going to be 16 cups or 25,600 calories. So if you're looking in your food storage and you're looking at how many cans of grain you have, each can of grain is going, or flour or corn flour or popcorn or what have you, is going to have approximately 3 days calories in it. Now, if you're looking at a gallon of oil, 16 cups of oil in a gallon, with the calories being 1,600 per cup, gives you 25,600 calories. I hope you're following me so far. So if you take, let's round it up to 26,000 calories at approximately 2,000 calories a day, is going to give you about 13 days calories. So if you go to your food storage and you look at a gallon of oil, you can say that's got about 13 days of calories in it. If you look at let me flip back here so I'm done with my statistics. I can see myself again. I don't feel so retarded. If you're looking at a can of grain, you're going to say that has approximately, let's flip back and look one more time. You're going to say that has approximately 3 days worth of calories in it. And then because sugar is almost exactly double the number of calories per cup or per volume, in grain versus sugar, sugar is going to have about double the calories that you're going to have in grain. So if a can of flour is going to last you about, I'm not talking about how much you can make out of it. I'm talking about how long it will keep your body alive, how many heat units a calorie produces. So if you're comparing flour with sugar, a can of sugar will have approximately 6 days calories. Now, I know you're going to burn a few extra calories if you're having to do physical labor, and I totally understand the concept behind that. But what I'm trying to say is, obviously, you're not going to live on oil every day. You're not going to drink oil for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But you're going to bake with it. And so if you look at when you go to mix your oil together with your sugar, together with your eggs, together with your flour or your cornmeal or what have you. I have corn muffins baking in my oven in the kitchen right now that has grain and milk and egg and oil and sugar in them and other things. So when you're going to bake, obviously you're going to mix all those things up and produce a corn muffin that's going to have X number of calories in it. So much calories for the milk, so much calories for the egg, so much calories for the oil, and so on and so forth. But the calories will sustain you for a certain period of time. So if you look at a gallon of oil, you say that gallon of oil has, what did I say, almost 26,000 calories in the gallon of oil. That's going to have about 13 days worth of calories when you start mixing it into things. So I hope I haven't completely confused you, but I thought that might be easier when you go to evaluate your food storage and you say, okay, I have X number of cans of grain. I have 100 cans of grain or flour or anything that falls in that category. Rice would be about equivalent, if I'm not mistaken. Rice, flour, cornmeal, wheat. I'm trying to think of the names. I can't think of the other names of grains right now. My mind is going blank, but you get my drift. If you say, okay, I have 100 cans of those kinds of foods, grain type foods, then you say to yourself, okay, 1 can will sustain 1 person for about 3 days. So 100 cans is going to sustain 1 person for about 300 days, if I'm following myself right. So 300 days is going to be a little bit less than a year. So you could say you need, if your main storage was going to be in grains, you would need about 100 or more cans for 1 person for 1 year. Now you're probably completely confused, but I think that's an easier way to look at things than to try to, it gives you some concept of how long the food is going to last and how long it will sustain you for. Let's see, what was I going to say about that? I'm going to do another video, I think today, if I have the opportunity, about, it's going to sound very basic, but I said I had corn muffins in the oven. I have a convection oven, which I'll talk about later, countertop. It's an older one. It holds bigger than a 9 by 13 pan. It holds my big cookie sheet that I can do French bread on. It has nothing to do with the topic. We're pushing 8 minutes here, so I'm going to quit. But it's all got to do with baking, which I'm going to cover again some more in the future. But I think I'm going to let that topic rest for right now. I think it will just give you a better grip on how far your food that you have in storage will last you. And since I'm getting in over my own head right now, I'm going to get myself all turned around. I'm going to quit and address this in another video from another angle. Not today, maybe today, not right now. So if you want to take a look at your storage, what you have stored, and say to yourself, a gallon of oil will last this long, a can of grain will last this long, a can of sugar will last this long as far as your calorie needs. Maybe that will simplify it for you. Maybe I have just made you more confused than you've ever been. I don't know, but I'm trying, and I will post another video at another point in time when I get this all straightened out in my head. For right now, 13 days for a can of a gallon of oil, 3 days for a number 10 can of grain products, 6 days for a number 10 can of sugar. So if you have those basic things in your supply and you want to go count how many cans of sugar, count how many cans of grains, canned vegetables is going to be in the, and I'm talking about carrots, green beans, tomatoes, that kind of thing. It's going to be in the neighborhood of 50 calories a cup. Most cans of vegetables hold 2 cups, so about 100 calories for every can of green beans or carrots, that kind of thing that you have. I think the peas and the carrots are, the peas and the corn are about 80, but I'll check on that and try to put that in a video. So that will give you a rough estimate. If anybody has any more questions about that they think I might be able to answer, let me know. And now we're pushing 10 minutes, so I'm definitely quitting this video. God bless. Bye.